very good morning to you all. I'm Carol, she, her, and it is an absolute pleasure to be back here with the wonderful people at Kent Police to do today's EDI training. I've been asked to come back because certain things have come into the public domain regarding this police department. So we just need to iron out a few things and make sure everybody is on the same page. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to do a little bit of housekeeping. So a little bit later this morning, we're going to be stopping to take a few moments of contemplation as it is the 5th anniversary of the tragic loss of George Floyd, which is felt so deeply around the world. People have really struggled to move on from this. So it's only right that we take a few moments to think about that situation. While we're on it, I must say I am very disappointed. I had actually left the first 2 rows empty in the hope that they would be filled by our officers of colour. And what I'm looking at is a really unpleasant display of white privilege. So I've got to say, I've taken all of your names and your pronouns and you've been automatically added to my white privilege awareness course, which will be taking place in a few weeks' time. So if you would like to just move to the back now, and I'd like to encourage our officers of colour just to take up the first 2 rows. That will be very helpful when we're doing the 11 o'clock taking of the knee. Right, let's get started with today's training. This is very important because of the incident that has taken place. The person involved, who also happened to be a special constable, has gone to the far right adjacent media to complain, and he's got the far right adjacent menace that is the Free Speech Union involved in his case, and he's bringing a case against Kent Police. So we need to make sure that we really do know what we're looking for when we visit a property, especially if they have been writing problematic things online and somebody's feelings may or may not have been hurt by that. So what came out in the footage was somebody talking about Brexity books. So I need you all to be clear on what a Brexity book is. It is not necessarily a book about Brexit. It can be Brexit adjacent. So I'm going to give you an example of Brexit adjacent books. The first one is this. This is a very problematic British author called Douglas Murray. He's written a lot of books. And this is his latest one, which to me is very Brexit adjacent. So if you see that in somebody's property, red flag. Now, they do not have to be British necessarily. This is a book about somebody in the Trump administration. The fact that that could be in somebody's house would also be seen as Brexit adjacent, or indeed far right adjacent. Now, there are other items that you need to be aware of that you may see in people's homes that I would say were very problematic. Now, I'm giving you a trigger warning on this. I've picked the smallest one I can find, and I'm going to hold it up very slowly just to warn you what's coming. Right, you may see one of these. They may be in a plant pot outside somebody's house. They might, God forbid, may be in somebody's window, hanging out of the window. If you do see this, this is very much a red flag. Well, technically it's a red and white flag, but it is a problem. Now, I couldn't find a smaller one, but there is also this flag. Again, it is very problematic if you see one of these. So that I just need you to be clear on all of those objects and why they may be a problem. Right, it's almost time to do our 11 o'clock moment of contemplation. But just to let you know, this afternoon we are going to be covering problematic flags at protests. So that is your trigger warning if that was a little bit too much for you. Right, let's move on.